since the first time Singham made an appearance on screen. And as I found out from all of them, and as I know because I watched it recently again, it still feels incredibly fresh. So, I have to start by asking you, what is the quality in a film that makes it still feel as fresh and as relevant and as entertaining as it was 13 years ago?
I really don't know. All you can do is just work hard and make a film with honesty, and rest it's up to the audience. And I think with Singham, gradually it became a cult film.
Yeah.
When it had started, it was just an action film what we made.
Right.
And throughout with time, it's become cult because of satellite, I think.
Yeah.
People have started watching it again
over and over again. Yeah.
And now, like, if a cop does a good job in any state or any city, it's like, he's Gujarat ka Singham, he's UP ka Singham. So I think, and as you say, it's 13 years and even we don't feel it like it's been 13 years now.
Ajay, how do you remember the making the first film? Yeah?
How do I remember? In fact, we were making something else. That's what I remember. And Rohit had locked the script and we had finalized everything. And I remember I was shooting in London for another film. And he called me up. And as soon as I was supposed to come back from London, I was supposed to start shooting with him. And he called me up and he said, I've got a fabulous script. Let's change what we are making and let's make this. And on the phone in 5 minutes he narrated me the whole idea and I said okay. And as soon as I came back he was already in Goa and I just reached Goa from London and we started shooting.
So not a lot of time in prep and any of that.
Nothing.
I remember what Singham did is up until that time, and I feel that Hindi films had sort of, we had the cop stereotype. The police always comes late, the police is not able to solve the case. The police had become a little bit of a joke in Hindi movies till Singham came along. What Singham did, and I think all of you will agree, it made the cops the stars again. It kind of gave them a whole renewed respect, and it made people believe that actually they're good people, they do the right thing and they can solve the crimes. All of which had actually the reputation had taken a little bit of a beating. Tell me what that was like, Rohit, and was it a personal mission to sort of to kind of show us the glory of the cops?
See, when we were making it was first of all, Singham was done by Surya earlier.
Yeah.
And that's how we saw the film, and then we made our draft for Hindi audience. And when we were making the first film, it was just a hardcore mass action film,
right,
like we were planning to. And it was not an agenda that we want to, but yes, definitely, during the making of the film, we did interact with a lot of cops and what they go through. And that was little, I thought that this is something which we should tell the audience and show the audience like their side of story, their personal side of story. And that's how it all happened.
Rohit sir, I love you!
Thank you, I love you too. Okay. Out of the blue.
Ajay, for you, I mean, you all have, the two of you have really become sort of emblematic of the police. I mean, like, the police force loves you. You're like, for every small thing they want you as you're almost the sort of unpaid ambassadors for the police force. What is that like, Ajay? Do you feel like that's sort of some, I mean, that's what Singham achieved, and subsequently the films that you've made have achieved?
Yeah, so that's something we are very grateful for. When the original Singhams, the cops, they recognize us. But that also gives you a lot of responsibility. That, little things also. Earlier, when you were younger, you would jump a signal or something like that. Now, after, this kind
I would say it's difficult. Where production is concerned, I'm not talking about them being on the set together. I've been fortunate enough that they all were friends and we had a great time where everyone coming together is concerned. But yes, I think we had a team of around 1,000 people when we were shooting the climax.
Wow.
Like if you see the climax, the few shots are there. Like the team from South Africa was there, who shoots Fear Factor for us.
Wow.
They were there. The team from Bangkok was there. My team was there. So we all came together for the climax. And I think the experience what kids will have now when they watch Singham Again's climax is like something like I'm very proud of.
Yeah.
It's turned out really well,
Ajay, can you talk as also, as the lead star of the film, but also as one of the producers, how important it is to deliver this sort of cinematic experience in today's times when the stakes are so high and when it feels like nothing short of spectacular is going to is
So we are like that bachpan ka uncles for you, like, you know? Oh, you all are going for Singham again, right? Okay.
When did you know that there was potential to take the story forward? Also because that was a time when there were not many franchises, right? I mean, like this was. I mean, of course, Golmaal you had made into this event, but how do you know that Singham is something that we can tell more stories around?
Kind of love we got from Singham.
Yeah.
It gave us that confidence that now, like Golmaal, we can have an action series also.
Right.
But we never thought into a universe. It was just Singham Return was just another sequel. When we were making Simba, that time we thought, okay, let's try this, and that was the first film where this whole universe thing started happening.
Ajay, do you remember sort of going back? First of all, what was it like going back 3 years later, 4 years, no, 3 years later? 2014 was when you all did Singham Returns, right?
Yeah.
And this time you got time to prep for the character?
I think
By then it was part of your system.
Yeah, I mean, first was like a prep.
Right. When did you feel like this was a character that has the potential to sort of tell more stories?
Not really. It's just that after one released, and then the kind of response we got from the audience, especially I think it was very strange for the first time in my life. Also, I felt like a typical action masala film. Was liked, and the character was loved by kids and by women.
That's right, yeah.
I think that was the first time it happened that a character like this, women started liking. I think it was a character women thought that if you have a man, it should be like this.
Right.
You know, that started falling into.
You agree? The women in the room?
So I think that's where we realized that, you see, in men it would work,
Right.
because it's an action film.
Yeah.
When it started working in kids and in women, that's where you knew that there's something right with the character.
Tell us a little about Simba and how the universe expanded.
Simba, obviously, when we were doing Simba, I came to him like I think let's merge into it and make a universe in our country also. Let's see. There was a risk if Simba would have not worked. Singham was coming in that film, and was Suryavanshi as well. So again, it was like a risk we took. And it worked, and then it was like in Hindi or for the Hindi audience whether they understand this thing. अच्छा सिंघम कैसे आ गया इसमें? अच्छा अब ये कौन है? But it worked for us, and then after that we all started making universe out of every genre. I think.
Singham's entry in Simba. Do you remember, guys? Yes. I mean that was pure magic. Ajay, do you remember that? I mean, do you remember sort of playing to the? That was literally playing to the gallery, right?
Yeah, I think, of course I remember that. And actually that started in one only. In one, I think the Scorpio turns in, I get off. So that again became so significant that it had to be repeated. Then it became a part of Singham's character.
I think the thing about doing it in Simba was that for a lot of people it was unexpected, right? I mean, of course you've seen the trailer and one had a sense of it, but to just see that, to see another character such a beloved character sort of step into another film just felt magical completely. And then of course there was Suryavanshi. Rohit, how much confidence did you have that the idea of a universe? I mean, you were doing what hadn't been done certainly in Hindi or in India before. I mean, the closest example was Marvel, and what you've done with Singham Again is you've given us the Avengers. You're giving us, you're really giving us the Avengers. I mean, how, like you rightly said previously, everything is a risk because if one element fails, then the whole universe sort of it's potentially it could collapse. What do you go in? What do you all go in, Ajay? What do you all go in with, knowing that what is the level of confidence, the level of conviction that you need to go in when the stakes are that high?
I think making a commercial film, conviction is the only thing which works, because other than that, everything is against you.
Yeah.
Where logic is concerned, or where a segment of audience is concerned, it's a risk which you take when you make a commercial, hardcore mass film. It's risky. And it will always be risky. But we've been fortunate enough that it has worked in our favor.
And I think it's also step by step.
Yeah.
When you take a baby step, like we did one, and then we realized there can be a two because we got this kind of response. Then after two, it was a baby step that let's do Simba and then merge Singham in it. And then, it's like, as the audience starts accepting things, you take steps. So and you reach a point.
And I think honesty is also very important in that. Like we can't just because people love the character, we can't make the same thing again.
Right.
10 times bigger. But that is what we have to work on now for the audience.
No, Ajay, a lot. I think most people here will know, and everyone knows you're a very secure actor, and I think, and maybe Rohit will jump in and sort of add to this. I assume it requires a lot of confidence and security to have that big heart and say, let's open this universe up. Let's have more characters come in. Let's have other stars come in. But did you ever wonder whether Ajay would be open to that?
See, because for like I always give.
And the beauty really.
You're very cautious that intentionally you should not be making any mistakes.
Right.
So I think in a way it's good also, and a lot of responsibility also comes with it.
Can we talk about the climax? To me, this is the best climax in many years. I haven't seen a better climax. And 13 years ago, it still feels like it's the most innovative, original. It's a claustrophobic. It's race against time. It's feeling like something is going to happen. And it's just amazing. How did you all achieve that? Do you remember shooting it? How do you know whether you're getting it right?
You know, when we were writing the script, the climax of the film, we thought, okay, it's an action film. It has to be like a lot of
big
Scorpios and a lot of people and a lot of fighters and all that. And then we were like, it's not working. And you will not believe, then we wrote this thing and we shot in one day.
The whole sequence.
The whole sequence we shot in one day in Goa. So it was like we started writing and it was just like the flow was like, okay, I think this will work because people will think that there will be an action climax and let's do that this way.
Right.
That's how it happened and it clicked.
Wow. Ajay, how do you know if it's working? How do you know when you're shooting something whether it's because so much depends on that?
You do get a hint. You realize that things are working, and you also realize when the things are not working. So somewhere, I mean, 99% you're not wrong in that it's working or not working. Deep inside, you feel that. If it's not working, you know when the film will release, then you will know that. But most of the time, you get this inclination that we've gone wrong somewhere.
Who came up with the line? Who came up with that, and what is the story behind that? Again, one of those sort of it's iconic and it's a pop cultural moment.
Genuinely, we had just written because those characters, both Singham and the villain Jaikan Shikre, they were Maharashtrians.
That's right.
And it became an iconic line.
Yeah.
And he just says that line once in the film.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's told by the villain,
Correct.
by Jaikan Shikre throughout the film. And we never thought for us it was just a line, and it became again a line which like everybody says now. It's like we never thought about it. No.
Did you remember?
No, at that moment it was just a line.
Just another line.
It's you deliver a lot of lines and you don't know what the audience will lap up.
Yeah.
So it was while doing it, and it was just a line, and it became a cult line.
And the pose? Should we do it? Go for it.
Pose, I think it was in the song. Ganesh Acharya had done that, and then I think I'm telling you, nothing was planned.
Wow.
We were just making a normal mask because we made 3 golmals by then. We had done all the best by then.
Correct.
And we were doing Bol Bachan after that. So it was all comedies we were doing. And then in between we thought, let's make an hardcore mass action film.
Yeah.
And while making it, we was like, if we go wrong, because nobody was making mass action that time, we have Bol Bachan and that will save us.
Right.
So we never thought that it will become such a big film or it will become like a cult.
You would never plan a super hit film. You only try to make a good film.
Correct.
Super hit happens if.
Yeah.
All like that.
When did
There's
you
nothing. I've opened up everything on the in the trailer.
bigger, much bigger than anything we've seen before?
No, I can't claim on that. It is our biggest.
Looks like that, yeah.
Means what we have done till now, it is our biggest for sure. But I can't claim that this is the biggest ever. We've really worked hard on it, and like we tried to create something.
Yeah.
And I hope that people will like it, and I'm pretty much sure, in fact, that they will love it because we have done it honestly.
Yeah.
Like we worked really hard on it, and we are not trying to get a Singham ban gayi thi, Simba bhi chal gayi thi, Suryavanshi bhi to ye aise kar lete hain. So it's not like that. Like it's been a tough journey for us, for the whole team, and today when we see the film, like we are very happy with the whole journey.
You know, to both of you, I want to ask, when you're making a film like this, where you already know that there are elements that the fans are going to love anyway, because they know what to expect from brand Singham. For you all, what is more important, to give them what they want, or also for your own personal growth to add things that feel new and you know, just so that you all feel like you all are also adding new elements which you haven't tried before? What is the formula to creating something that is going to be this widely anticipated?
Adding is very important, I think, to the same thing. I know that the whole Euphoria, and there is a set format, if it is a Singham or if it is from the cop universe, that you're coming here to enjoy, you're coming here to clap on the entries and on the action. So definitely those things are always there back of your mind, and you shoot accordingly. And there is one thing that you always feel is like how to make it bigger and better for the audience.
But film industry is all about risk. So that risk factor will always be there, and you can't run away from that. And also, in today's times, you have to deliver. You have to deliver something big, something for big screen, or you're going to fail. So you have to take those risks.
The other masterstroke, Rohit, is the Ramayana, is sort of linking it to the Ramayana. And can you talk about that? At what stage of the scripting did that become such a crucial
when we were thinking, like, now we're going to take this story forward after Suryavanshi during pandemic, is when we were working on the ideas, like how to take it forward. Was the time Shetty Patwardhan came to me, who's done part screenplay also. He came with this idea. It was his story, not mine. Okay, what if we do like that? And he had a graph of characters, like if we take this journey forward. And what's interesting is when you see the film, it's this Ramayana, but we traveled all the way. We shot also all the way from
families, knowing that the film is doing very well. That's what this Diwali is all about.
Lots of firecrackers, both in our homes, outside our homes, but also in the theatre. Feels like this is going to be one big firecracking Diwali. Thank you guys. I'm guessing you all had a great time watching the first Singham. Looking forward to watching the next one.
Thank you so much. Thank you.